Excuse me, folks. I have to be careful because on my right side I have a few weak ribs. And when I cough too hard, it hurts like hell. This is 20. Advanced preparation list. I already did 12 for Allie Carroll. I'm doing an advanced list for Nikki St Laurent. This is not for beginners. If you're beginners, please check out these channels, especially Corsair's Trainer. Okay? I don't want to go through all of it because I did an update video earlier. A lot of people don't understand what some finance is talking about. It's cool. Nobody else does. Nobody ever watches my video. Again, it's not for the Padawans. Okay? This is an advanced course, not for kiddies, or the oldest one, Tyler. Now, I have to always push these people. Okay? Now, again, send your prayers and check out WD's Block and Roll. Pray for him. Also, Old School Prepper. They're in the middle of a firestorm. Okay, number 1, prescription drugs. Now, Corsair Trainer did that on his, oh my God, panic prepping list for newbies and beginners and Padawans. He did that. But he also forgot glasses. These things. If you wear prescription glasses, get a couple of sets. You can do reading glasses, but it doesn't help your aim if you have to hit something at 15 meters. You want to get plain old military issue, ugly black frame glasses. Okay, and you want to get a bunch. Okay, prescription drug, like Steve said, you want at least 3 months worth. I said so too. I already did this last year, and I always currently update. I have a spreadsheet of all my medications. I have a pharmacist and I have a doctor. We talked about it, and we talked what happens if I get isolated or sealed in the room. They're quite surprised that I was right on the virus. So, on everybody. Year and a half ago, laugh at Uncle Al. Yep, he's that crazy kook on King Kong Island. Kong Skull Island, go watch the movies. You better listen to the guy with the beard and looks like Santa Claus or you're going to get eaten. Okay? Number 2, this is least talked about. Only a few channels talk about it. Main one was Modern Survivalist. That's Fernando's channel. He talked it a lot. And he has a book. You should check out that book. Street Smarts and the other thing. This is called Very Important Paper Bags. This is all your important papers. Plus, you want either on a CD. I'm dating myself. I used to say floppy disk, but on a whatchamacallit, one of those little doohickeys you put on the side of the phone or into your laptop. I don't know what they call them. Go ask Steve. A memory drive unit. UBI sticks. Go ask, read about that. I'm still back in the Stone Age. UBI sticks. Okay. Make sure everything's there. Your passport, driver's license, you name it, all your social security card, second photo ID, whatever you need, it's in that bag ready to go. I have one bag that fits around my waist. It's a money belt type, but that's strapped underneath my shirt and bulletproof vest. Why? Because it has my important papers, everything, a few bundles of money, and also, most important, a few gold or silver coins, depending on the situation. But it should mostly have your important papers, insurance papers, health papers, birth certificate. We go down the line. Several, go check out Modern Survivalist. The Modern Survivalist, he did a whole video on this. Okay? Do not put a gun in there. All you want to do is documentation. So that's the most important thing. When I mention documentation, people's eyes roll back and they're like, eh. And those are the people back in the class. Stop that. Okay? Third most important item in the advanced list. This is going to be a long one because I have to carefully explain this. 1 gallon household bleach, unscented, and an eyedropper. A medical grade eyedropper or lab grade eyedropper. It's like, Lord, people in the back class, wake up. Before we get anything, done, weapons, pistols, get that first. 1 gallon unscented household bleach. A lot of you guys are not skilled enough to do what Uncle Alan does, or Steve does, or Reed does, or Anthony does. We're the advanced group. You are the slow people in back of the class that we got to make sure you're wearing your white helmets. Now, those people who came late, go check out Steve, go check out all the people in the first part of the video. Okay? Uncle Alan's tired and Uncle Alan's sick. Okay, that's the most important thing. You have to disinfect things. You have to disinfect water. There's 1,000 uses for household bleach. Number 4, very important, reference books, real books. Apps are fine, but books are better. Make sure they're up to date and current. Number 5, cash. Cash is still king. Now, a lot of places don't take it, and a lot of places don't take coins. But you have coin machines that don't take cards, and you got some place in the boondocks. I'm sorry, we only take cash. We don't have ATM or debit card or credit card services here. Our wiring is down. Wayne of the Ungrateful Peasant did a good video on that. And I still have to do the cash one up to date because a lot of people, things change. Adapt to your situation. Especially right now with the pandemic. A lot of places are holding back on cash and coinage. I know why. And Gil of Cap Patton's Family Compound knows why. Please check them out this evening. This is recorded on September 11th, where you were 19 years ago. Most people weren't even born or were infants or running around pooing in their diapers. Okay. Number 6. Most important. I had people laugh at me. Oh, Uncle, we never have wildfires or any of that. And that was mostly people in Oregon and Washington. In cities and towns. They all cracked up. They thought Uncle Alan was nuts. Who's laughing at Uncle Alan now? I don't want to say I told you so, but it's a good way. Breakfast drink. Hate taking vitamins that way. Okay, you want a fire extinguisher for the kitchen, for your garage, and where else? Where your heating sources. You want at least 3 fire extinguishers. And there's a fire extinguisher class, and gotta learn how to use a fire extinguisher. If it's a grease fire or a gas fire, do not point it at the flames and pull the trigger. You have to drift it down. It's like, oh Lord, I could do a whole video on that. Second thing, if it's a riot kind of fire, you want 2 5 buckets of sand, dry sand. You can moisten it, but do not wet it down. You want dry sand to put it out. I mix a little baking soda into the dry sand, and when the fire comes, lightly moisten it with a spray bottle. So when it comes, I can throw it on a flammable fluid fire. And a lot of people understand that, but they don't. Okay, so you want 3 fire extinguisher and 2 5-gallon buckets full of dry sand and baking soda. Mark it fire, because a lot of slow people in the class says, isn't that food, Uncle? No, it's sand and baking soda. Why are we doing this? It's like, if you've got a flammable liquid spraying through an area, how do you put it out? I take the water hose and hose it down. This is why they're back of the class, folks. Okay. Everybody should have some kind of kitchen matches. Uncle has a whole bunch I showed you in previous videos. I have a whole box of kitchen matches, safety matches, waterproof matches. I have a whole box of them. Okay? And you want it in a waterproof container so they don't get wet. You can have Bic lighters, you can have strikers, you can have ferro rods. But the best thing you want is kitchen matches, because you can light other items with it. With the cigarette lighter, you have to light a punk and light everything else, or a stick or a sulfur match. This way, you have a match. It's one purpose. You put it safely in water so it doesn't burn the house. And I see people flipping matches all over the place. I'm looking at them. What's wrong with you, boy? Okay? That's a Southern thing, not racial. Southern. Okay? Books, games, cards, non-electric devices that keep you and the kids amused. All right? 2021 is going to be a hell year. You want to have plenty of games. You want to have plenty of books. I got my religious materials. I have the Torah, I have the Quran, and I have 6 sets of Bibles. All right? I have plenty to read. And I listen to jazz on the old 78, so on everybody. Who's laughing at old Uncle Alan now? You want a mess kit. I hate the present day copy of the Boy Scout. I hate Ozark Trail of the Boy Scout. It's been perverted so many times. I hate that thing. I make my own mess kit. You want some kind of fry pan that's deep, about 8 inches. You want a plate bowl, same thing. Best thing I found for a plate bowl is the old steel pie pan. Now, I used to have a bunch of them. Now they're all gone because people like stole them from me on my camping trips. Where did you get this, Uncle Al? It's part of my cookware. All right. They used to steal it. It was the best plate I ever had, and it got stolen. Now I do use an old World War II type of mess tin. Can't beat that. World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. You can't beat it. However, they have their faults. So I make up my own kit. It's either a plastic if you're worried about weight. I have a metal cup. Metal cup works great. Or a canteen cup. All right? Some kind of plate or bowl. Fork, knife. You know. Common sense stuff. Don't go fancy. Don't go overboard. Use your brains. I have to make this again and again because people in the back of the class are either staring at the wall, chewing gum, or looking at their phones or something. Simple. Okay? I might have to cut this into 2 parts because, God, this is 20 advanced items. Okay? Personal hygiene. That's towels, soap, and water. Now, if you're using hand sanitizers, you have to understand this. Hand sanitizers work up to a point. Then it starts coating the hands, So you have layers and layers of dead or semi-alive, whatever it is, on your hands. Feminine products. You want tampons, you want feminine sprays, goes down the list. Because if you don't keep the little lady happy, all hell breaks loose. Okay, and other feminine products. Okay, baby or elderly diapers and products. You want like baby wipes, baby powders, baby oil, whatever. Same goes for the generic powders, generic diapers. The list goes on, but you want personal hygiene items. You have to make sure. You have to stay clean. I have so many weird comments on the soap and hydration comments that got ridiculous. All right? You want to make sure you stay clean. Don't give me all this natural stuff or, it's organic, it's good for you, and breathe in all the toxins. No, you don't want diseases and parasites. It states in the Bible when Jesus washed people's feet. It's like people in the back of the class, stop getting these weird IDs. Read and educate yourself. Okay, I'm going to stop it at sleeping stuff because it's getting close to about 20 minutes of this one, and I got a lot of stuff to cover. So we're stopping at 11, and you add 1. Easiest is sleeping bags. Know your rating on a sleeping bag. Make sure you have an insert. If it's above 40 is better. Most bags are rated at 40. That's a typical slumber party or family camping. All right. Wool blankets. Wool blankets are good, and people use polyester. There's a big difference. A lot of people can't tell. Or the blends. All right. You want 100% wool blanket. You got to understand, without blanket pins, you don't know what you're doing. Not safety pins, blanket pins, like we use on our horses. Okay? Then you understand what I'm talking about. You want some kind of canvas tarp. Not plastic, not nylon, a real canvas tarp. This is an old school bushcrafter. You can't call yourself a bushcrafter, prepper, whatever, unless you got a good canvas tarp and it's waterproof. Okay? Pads. I've seen a lot of people with air pads, foam pads, you name it. You go look at LA Prepper. He has a air mattress. That's cool. It's nice and comfortable. Think again. Okay? All sorts of pads, all sorts of forms. Cots. This is important. How many of you have a cot? I know very few homesteaders have it. Half of the survivalists I know have it. None of the preppers. Get a military cot. Check the rating and weight. Make sure it's steel frame. Wood. If you know what you're doing, not a problem. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Okay? I know how to do it, but I'm in advanced class. Yours is just like you're Padawan or beginner. So don't touch it, all right? On cots, you want a mosquito netting and framework for it. This is very important. It should fit your cot. And a lot of people say, Uncle Alan, I don't know what you're talking about. Those are the people in back of the class in Louisiana. Now you read the farm reports. Every morning I wake up, I read 6 different kinds of farm reports. All right, I have to do it. I'm helping my family. They don't want to do it, but they don't understand why mosquito netting is important. Because in Louisiana, after Hurricane Laura, they have massive clouds of mosquitoes sucking their livestock dry and dead. Understand that. That could be you or your family. Okay? I have more stuff that I have to go over. We'll get that to a later date. I'll catch you later, folks.